Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, Cooking with Gerald. Today, I'm making a meal from one of my favorite restaurants that used to be here in Atlanta. It's called the Tavern at Phipps. It used to be inside of Phipps Plaza. It's called fried trout pontchartrain, and it's rainbow trout or some other type of trout that's fried in a light batter, and then it's topped with lump crab meat and some toasted almonds, and then it's served with it's served with garlic crawfish mashed potatoes and some string beans. And we used to also, me and my best friend, we used to go there. We used to also order these croissants that were the bomb, nice and soft with a honey butter that's drizzled over them. So, to start off, I have 2 fillets of rainbow trout. This is very hard to find a lot of times, and it's very expensive. It used to be very reasonable. Now it's actually very expensive. I'm not sure why, but it is. Anyway, I found this at Trader Joe's frozen. I think they came 3 in a pack, and it wasn't that much. It wasn't expensive at all. I have crescent rolls because I couldn't find any croissants at the store. Have my butter, have my honey. That's unsalted butter, honey. I have my whole green beans. I couldn't find any loose, fresh green beans either, so I had to get the can. I didn't want the frozen ones. And then jumbo lump crab meat, crawfish for the potatoes, garlic, and my russet potatoes. So I'm going to go ahead and peel my potatoes and also break down my crawfish tails, and I'll be back. All right, guys, so I am back. I have my potatoes peeled, cut up into chunks, all the same size so they do cook evenly. Before I did that, I actually rinsed them off, put them in the cold water, and then put them on the stove. It's very important that you always cook your potatoes in cold water. You start them off with cold water. Don't boil the boil the water and then add the potato in. You start it from cold water on a cold pot. That way it does bake evenly. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some salt in there. You always want to season your water. You don't want bland potatoes. So I'll put a couple handfuls, and that's about a couple tablespoons. About a couple tablespoons. And then I'm also gonna put some minced garlic in there. I'll probably end up putting some more in the potatoes itself. That's about 3 cloves of garlic. And I'll go ahead and stir this around. And this should take about 10 minutes to boil. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more. I'll have this on high. So while that's going, I'm gonna go ahead and get back over here to my fish. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and get my crawfish tails. Pull that skin off, or that head off. And pull the tail out. Try and do this one right. And here's the rest of it. Skin, you hold it and squeeze it right at the end of the tail right there. And squeeze the other part, the head, and pull it. So you're pulling that string out of there, or digestive tract. That's perfect. See, the digestive tract is gone. It's pretty much like shrimp. Any type of shellfish, just like that. See, there it is right there. All right, see, I pulled it out. I guess that was it. This is going to the trash outside. All right, so as you can see, I only had a couple. I didn't take out many more than that. So I'm gonna rinse these off. And then just slice them up. Feel free to add more. I had not planned on making that many potatoes, mashed potatoes, so that's why I didn't cut up any or bring any more crawfish tails in. So I'm more than likely to end up just making half of those mashed potatoes into crawfish, garlic mashed potatoes. Others will be just straight up garlic mashed potatoes. All right, I'll go ahead and set this aside. And the next thing I'm gonna go ahead and get together is my fish. Go ahead and drain this water off. I have my fish fry. You can use just regular cornmeal, all cornmeal. You can use half cornmeal, half flour. I don't particularly care for cornmeal itself, so I normally buy corn flour. This is a seasoned corn flour. However, I'm still gonna season my fish, and I don't need to season it a lot because fish is different from fish is different from poultry. Let me rinse these off too, right quick. You always want to rinse off your meat or wash it, no matter what kind of meat that it is, whether it's poultry or beef, chicken, turkey, doesn't make a difference. So this is my all-purpose seasoning. Has a little garlic powder, onion powder, complete seasoning, another complete seasoning, another what do you call it? Total seasoning, pepper, accent, some Cajun seasoning. It has a lot of different stuff in there, but it's actually really good. And it's nice because I don't have a lot of salt in it. So sometimes I do add salt, a lot of times I don't, because it seems as though it has the right amount of salt. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and dredge these in my flour. Way up. Make sure I get flour all over it and press the flour into the fish. That way, give it a nice even coat. Go ahead and throw this other piece in here. And rinse this off. Do the same thing for this piece. Batter all over it. And I may dredge this again. But what I'm going to do is let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. This will be the last thing that I'll cook. Look at that. See the nice coating? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this sit for about 15 minutes. I do the same thing with fish. What this does is it allows the flour to absorb from the moisture, or lets the moisture absorb the flour. That way it sticks to the fish better and to the chicken better. And then I'll dredge it again before I get ready to fry it. All right. Clean this mess up. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna do is get my green beans together. All right, so I like to strain and rinse my green beans whenever I cook them in the can. Got my whole green beans there. I like to use my own broth. A lot of times what I'll do is when I'm cooking beans or anything that, or any type, or greens or anything like that with ham hock or any type of smoked meat, I'll set some of it aside and put it in a container and put it in the freezer. And the reason I do that is so that times like this, when I'm making green beans, I already have my broth with the smoked meat flavor and all that to it. So all I gotta do is what I just did, drain them and then rinse them, and then put that broth in there, dice up a couple of pieces of potato, and let it cook for about 30 minutes. I'll say about 20, 30 minutes. And it'll taste like they've been cooking all day, all day. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and add this is the chicken bouillon. I'm gonna add about a teaspoon. You don't wanna add too much of this because it does have a lot of salt in it. And then about a cup of water. Well, not a whole cup. This is about enough. I do like a lot of pepper in my green beans. I'm gonna go ahead and warm my pepper up. It's about 1/2 to 3/4 teaspoon of pepper. All this is by preference. You season to the taste that you like. Put a little bit of my seasoning on there. Stir this up. Then I'm going to throw in some butter. This is the trick right here. This is what sets it off. You also can get bacon too. If you want that smoky flavor, you can use liquid smoke, which I wouldn't recommend because it doesn't taste all that great. But you can take and use bacon and then fry the bacon up and then use the grease from the bacon as well as the bacon. All right, get those in there. I'm gonna take a couple potatoes from out of the water. have some potatoes that I just took out of my water for my potatoes, for my mashed potato. And I'm gonna go ahead and taste the broth. Keep in mind, there's nothing in here that's raw besides the potato, and that's not gonna hurt you. Actually, that's perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these on and let them cook for about 20 minutes until it develops the flavor. And now I'm gonna make my honey butter. And I'm going to use this. Put a couple tablespoons of butter in here. That's probably too much. And some honey. I don't particularly care for honey, so I don't buy honey, so I have some from Love That Chicken. And that's ready to go. When the croissants or crescent rolls are done, I'll just take this and lather it over the roll. Yeah, that's good. I'll drop a little salt on there. Just a pinch. That's done. So my potatoes are finished cooking. I'm going to set them aside for a little bit and put them in the water, the hot water. And I'm gonna go ahead and dredge my fish again with that double crust. All right, there we go. All right, so finished dredging. I'm going to let this sit for about 10 minutes before I fry it. I'll go ahead and put my skillet on so it can be coming up to temperature. You know what, guys? I apologize. I thought that I was recording, but obviously I was doing the opposite of turning it off. So if you missed anything, what I did was my green beans, if you missed that, I had to go back through and look. I took the chicken bouillon, some seasonings, some potatoes, and some water, butter, pepper, and mixed this all together and put it on the stove for about 20 minutes. With my fish, I did a double dredge on the fish. It had been sitting for about 15 minutes. So I dredged it again so that it'll get a crispy crust. I have my oil on now, coming up to temperature. My potatoes are done. I'm about to mash those up. And last but not least, oh, and I just put my crescent rolls, which I thought that I had showed you guys. But I took them out the can, rolled them up, and put them on a tray to bake at 375 for 9 to 11 minutes. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do now is the lump crab. And it smells like my oil is ready. Fish doesn't require long cooking at all. It cooks really, really fast. I can get this off. Check the grease right. Ooh, my grease is done. It's smoking. The temperature is on. All right. So I'm about to take my grease off the iron for a moment because it is too hot. So once this cools down, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that started. Go ahead and throw my rolls in the microwave. For 11 minutes. All right, so like I said before, while I'm doing that, work on this lump crab. There you go. Look at that beautiful lump crab. Look at it. That's some beautiful crab meat. I'll strain some of this. This is what you make good crab cakes with, and I believe I'm gonna end up doing that with the rest of this. Or some crab fritters. Okay, so this should be enough for the 2 pieces of fish that I have. So what I'm going to do is just season this a little bit. Do a little Old Bay. I don't have the original Old Bay, but this is a garlic and herb. Also, some Cajun seasoning since I don't have any Old Bay. And I'm actually going to do this in the microwave. Put a little butter on it. Because I'm actually just warming it up a little bit, not actually cooking it all the way through. Well, actually, it's cooked all the way through, but just warm it up a little bit and break it up a little bit once it's warmed up. And break it up a little bit and it'll be ready to go on the fish. So I'm gonna go ahead and check my oil. See what it's like now. All right, so it's about 375. I'm gonna let it cool down just a little bit more to 350. All right, guys, so my grease is ready. I'm gonna go ahead and lay the fish down in there, skin side down, and you always wanna lay stuff that you're frying away from you. And I'll go ahead and add the second piece. Let that fry till it gets golden brown. A little noise because I have my fan on, so please bear with me. So I have my potatoes and the butter. I also have some clarified butter, which is called ghee, which I need to use up. Pour some of that in there as well. Mash these up. All right, let's set this aside for a moment so I can get back to my fish. Time to flip it. Let that cook for a couple more minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to keep mashing these. I'm going to add a little half. Normally I have a half and half in butter warmed up. And the reason I do that is so that it doesn't cool down the potatoes and the potatoes become mushy, or pasty rather. And with this, I'm just going to use some good old salt and pepper. That's it. It's really basic when it comes to potatoes. Pepper. And some salt. Croissants are done. as well as my fish, as well as these mashed potatoes. Hold on for just a second. To take the fish off. And I'm putting it on a rack so that it does not get soggy. Look at that, perfection. Move this grease over off the stove. Ooh, we got a little fire there, y'all. Be careful, grease fires are very easy. Very, very easy to get started. And when you do get one, you use baking soda, salt, something that's a flour, anything like that to put it out. You don't put water on it or anything else. You also want to have a fire extinguisher, if you don't have one, in your possession at your house around your kitchen. In case something like that happens, you can use that to put the fire out. Alright, so my mashed potatoes are together. I want to give them a little taste. And they're perfect. So what I'm going to do now is take some out to make the crawfish mashed potatoes. And really all it is just adding some crawfish to it. That's it. In the fancy restaurants, they just make it sound so wonderful. You know what? I'm going to put some crawfish and I'm going to put some crab in there. Alright, let me take my crescent rolls out. Those are done. Alright, so these are ready. My croissants. I'm actually going to put this in the microwave first. Crab meat to warm that up. Put that in glass dish. Have my butter. Go ahead and slather that on top. This is that honey butter. Look at that. I have some left over in case you want to add some more. This is done. Like I said, all we need to do is just heat it up a little bit. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and put this meal together. The first thing I'm going to get together is the fish. And here's the crab. All right. Have my toasted almonds. Crawfish mashed potatoes. And the string beans. Right, just a moment. Along with that butter croissant, butter honey croissant, y'all. And there you have it. Straight up perfection. Look at that. Fried trout pontchartrain with string beans and crawfish and crab mashed potatoes, along with that crescent roll, honey butter crescent roll or croissant. I'd like to thank you for watching. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Please share it with other people and click that notification bell in the top right hand corner to be notified each time I do upload a video. And please subscribe to the channel if you are not already a subscriber. Till next time, stay safe and God bless.